Ladies and gentlemen, listen very closely because what I am about to tell you is disturbing, serious, and extremely important for you to understand. There comes a certain point when a person does not simply behave in a harmful way anymore. They actually turn into a force of destruction themselves. When a narcissist fully surrenders to darkness, when they completely abandon any sense of right and wrong, and when they openly accept cruelty without hesitation, that is the moment they cross a line that most people cannot even comprehend. You must pay attention to this. Many people think of evil as something distant, like an idea from stories or movies. But evil is real. It moves through people. It slowly pulls them in, tempting them, taking hold of their spirit little by little until they stop resisting altogether. Narcissists are perfect vessels for this because their entire existence is built on deception, manipulation, and an endless need for control. This is not just about arrogance or selfish behavior. This is something far darker and far more dangerous. When a narcissist reaches the point where there is no return, when they finally give up what little humanity they had left, you will begin to notice three very clear signs. These are not minor personality traits or harmless flaws. These are serious red flags. These are loud warning signals that something truly sinister has taken place. If you fail to recognize them or if you choose to ignore them, you are stepping directly into the grip of someone who no longer governs themselves, someone who has traded their humanity for something far worse. Think about this for a moment. Have you ever encountered someone who drains the energy from every space they enter, who seems to gain strength from the suffering of others, and who manipulates people with such cold accuracy that it almost feels mechanical? That is not normal behavior. That is someone who has gone beyond the limit. And here is the harsh truth. Once they cross that boundary, they do not come back. You cannot reason with them, you cannot fix them, and you cannot save them because they have no desire to be saved. They have chosen lies over truth, destruction over creation, and control over love. If you allow them into your life, if you play their games, or if you believe you can outsmart them, you are putting yourself in serious danger. So listen carefully because I am going to explain the three terrifying signs that show a narcissist has fully handed themselves over to evil. If you notice even one of these signs in someone close to you, you need to walk away. Protect yourself. This is not just a difficult or toxic person. This is something far more threatening. There was a time when they still wore a mask. They pretended to be kind. They made an effort to appear decent, as if there was still some trace of human feeling left inside them. But that phase is over. When a narcissist fully gives in to darkness and gives their soul over to evil, they do not just cause pain anymore. They take pleasure in it. And that is where the real horror begins. At first, the change is subtle. You notice a difference in the way they behave. They no longer just disagree with you. They mock you. They no longer simply deceive you. They enjoy the chaos they create. There is an unsettling sense of comfort in their eyes when they watch someone fall apart, a smile when they witness sadness, and a flash of joy when they know they have broken someone's spirit or made them question their own reality. Most people hurt others because they are angry, afraid, or overwhelmed in the moment. But these individuals hurt others because they want to. They do it intentionally. They do it because it feeds them. The suffering of others gives them a feeling of power that nothing else can match. That is how you know this has moved beyond a personality problem. This is darkness in action. Pay attention to their face the next time they humiliate someone, the next time they lie to make you feel confused, or the next time they deliberately wound someone emotionally. Do they seem remorseful? Do they appear uncertain? Or do they look entertained? Do their eyes light up with a disturbing sense of satisfaction? Do they lean in, eager to observe the emotional damage they have caused? If that is what you see, then you are no longer dealing with someone who still has a heart. You are dealing with someone who has walked away from it completely. And what makes this even more frightening is that they do not limit this behavior to people they dislike. That would be too easy. They target everyone, including friends, relatives, and even their own children. The closer someone is to them, the stronger and more powerful they feel when they tear that person down. That is why nothing you ever do feels like enough. You can give them loyalty, love, patience, and understanding, and it still will not satisfy them. They want to see pain. They need to witness suffering because, in their twisted mindset, pain is a form of currency, and power is measured by how much they can destroy. If they can break you, if they can confuse you, if they can make you doubt your own thoughts and memories, then they believe they have succeeded. And the most disturbing part is that they will repeat this behavior endlessly. There is no point where they stop and realize they have gone too far. That moment never comes. So observe them closely. Notice their expression. Notice the smile they wear when someone else is hurting. Notice the dark look in their eyes when they know they have caused damage. That is not normal, and it is not human. If you believe they will eventually change or wake up one day feeling regret for what they have done, you are mistaken. In the past, they tried to hide their lies. They covered their actions with stories that included just enough truth to make you doubt yourself. But now they no longer feel the need to hide. They do not have to. They have reached a stage where reality becomes whatever they declare it to be in that moment. They lie constantly, without fear and without even the smallest trace of guilt. What is truly terrifying is that they believe their own lies. You could present them with written evidence, undeniable proof, and it would make no difference at all. They will stare directly at you and tell you that you are wrong, that it never happened, and that you are the one with the problem. They will insist that you are imagining things or losing your mind. And they will say it with such confidence that, for a brief moment, you will actually question your own memory. That is how deep their manipulation runs and how strong their deception has become. This goes beyond simple dishonesty. This is about deleting the past. They rewrite history as it unfolds, right in front of your eyes, and expect you to accept it without challenge. If you resist or try to defend the truth, that is when they turn the attack toward you. Suddenly, you are the liar. You are the untrustworthy one. You are the person creating problems. They twist the narrative so smoothly and so convincingly that even those who witness the truth begin to doubt themselves. That is how they maintain control and hold on to their power. They do not just manipulate people. They manipulate reality itself. And the more they succeed, the more fearless they become. They push boundaries by inventing stories so outrageous and clearly false that you think there is no way anyone could believe them. But they do. And even if they do not at first, they force themselves to accept it. Because once a narcissist reaches this stage, truth becomes irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the version of events that benefits them the most. This is where it becomes deeply unsettling. They do not only lie about their actions, they lie about who they are as a person. Their entire identity is an illusion. One day they present themselves as the victim, the misunderstood soul who has endured endless suffering. The next day, they position themselves as the hero, the savior who was always right. They switch between these roles effortlessly, becoming whatever version will earn them sympathy, admiration, or control. If you ever attempt to expose them or speak the truth, be prepared. They will destroy your reputation before they ever allow the truth to surface. They will turn others against you and paint you as the liar, the manipulator, or the unstable one. And the most painful part is that many people will believe them because by the time you try to speak, they have already planted doubts and rewritten the story. Once their version of reality takes root, it becomes nearly impossible to undo. In the beginning, they pretended to care. They copied emotions and acted like someone who felt regret or compassion. But now there is nothing left. No hesitation, no inner conflict, no sense of morality. They hurt, betray, and destroy while feeling absolutely nothing. Watch them carefully. When most people cause harm, they feel the weight of it afterward. They may deny it or justify it, but deep inside, something knows it was wrong. It keeps them awake at night or makes them question their actions. But for a narcissist who has fully surrendered to darkness, that inner voice is gone. They sleep peacefully. They do not hesitate. They do not reflect. They take what they want, crush anyone who stands in their way, and move forward as if nothing ever happened. If you confront them or show them the pain they have caused, they will look at you with empty, emotionless eyes, completely unmoved. Or worse, they may smile, entertained by the fact that you still care, that you still feel, and that you still believe they are capable of understanding what they have done. Many people still believe they have a heart or that somewhere deep inside them they can feel regret. But the truth is far more disturbing than that. They can watch you cry, watch you break down, and watch you suffer. And the only thing they feel inside is a sense of satisfaction. In their mind, your pain is proof that they have won. If you are hurting, it means they are in control, and that feeling feeds them. What makes this situation even more dangerous is that they are no longer limited by the boundaries that hold normal people back. The fear of consequences slowly disappears. The shame of being exposed or caught simply does not exist for them. They never feel the heavy weight of guilt pressing on their conscience. That is exactly why their behavior keeps getting worse over time and why the damage they cause keeps growing. Their betrayals become deeper and more serious because there is nothing inside them saying stop. They break trust without hesitation, manipulate without doubt, and destroy reputations as if it means nothing. They steal, cheat, lie, and burn bridges not because they are forced to, but because they choose to. Destruction makes them feel powerful. Every time they get away with something, they feel untouchable, like no one can stop them. Here is the frightening reality. They do not care who gets hurt along the way. It does not matter if you are a close friend, a romantic partner, a child, or even a parent. If you stand in their way, you become a sacrifice they are willing to make. If tearing you down helps them in any small way, the decision is already made in their mind. They will look straight into your eyes and tell you they love you, and in that exact same moment, they will be planning your downfall without feeling even a trace of guilt. To them, life is not about connection or understanding. It is a game or a battlefield where there are only winners and losers, and they will do anything necessary to make sure they never end up on the losing side. If that means throwing people away like they never mattered, they will do it. If it means stepping on those who trusted them, they may enjoy that even more. When someone has no guilt, no regret, and no real heart, nothing feels off limits anymore. They do not just deceive people on the surface. They begin to twist reality itself. Their control is no longer only about words or obvious lies. It starts to feel almost unreal, as if they have learned how to bend what others see and reshape the truth. They pull the strings of the people around them with frightening precision. They do not simply lie in the moment. They carefully plan every word they say and every move they make. Even their silence is calculated. Every pause, every delay, every look is meant to push others into following their will. The scariest part is that most people never realize it is happening. It begins with very small changes, like a shift in tone, a strange look, or a pause that feels just a little too long. They know exactly how to make you doubt yourself and how to make you question your own thoughts. They drop small hints and plant ideas in your mind, leaving just enough uncertainty to make you wonder if your instincts can even be trusted. Once you start questioning yourself, they have already won because now they control the story. It does not stop with words alone. They control the atmosphere and the energy around them. When you walk into a room with them, you can feel it immediately. Their presence fills the space even when they are silent. They can guide conversations with nothing more than a look. They can make someone feel worthless with one cold glance, or make someone else feel important with the right compliment at the right time. They do not just understand how people think and feel, they use that knowledge as a weapon. What makes it worse is that they know how to make their victims emotionally dependent on them. They create chaos, slowly break a person down piece by piece, and then present themselves as the only source of comfort or safety. One moment they push someone to their limit, and the next moment they step in like a hero, acting as if they are the only one who can fix the damage they created in the first place. This is not just simple manipulation. It is a trap for the mind. They play people against each other with terrifying ease. They whisper half-truths and plant doubts that spread quietly like a disease. Over time, friends turn into enemies, partners turn into rivals, and families become divided, all while they sit back and watch the destruction unfold. When everything finally falls apart, they somehow manage to position themselves as the victim or the misunderstood one that everyone turns to for answers. If you think you can beat them at their own game, you are mistaken. While you are reacting to what just happened, they are already several steps ahead. While you are trying to explain yourself, they are already planting the next lie. They do not play fair and they do not follow rules. They create the rules as they go. And the moment you think you understand them, they change the game completely. They are not just manipulators. They are creators of illusions. They do not just lie about facts. They reshape reality itself to fit their twisted version of the truth. Once they pull you into their web and rewrite the story so many times that you no longer know what is real, they believe they fully own you. There was a time when they pretended to care about being good. They wore a mask of morality and acted like they respected honesty, decency, and truth. But those days fade away. Eventually, they do not just stop trying to be good. They begin to mock the idea of goodness itself. They do not simply ignore faith or values, they actively hate them. If you watch closely, you will notice it in their words, their reactions, and their behavior whenever something pure or meaningful appears. They do not avoid the truth, they attack it. They put down people who have faith and laugh at those who believe in doing the right thing. They try to tear apart anyone who lives with honesty and integrity. They do this because deep down, the truth exposes who they really are. Faith reminds them of what they will never become. Goodness acts like a mirror they cannot stand to look into. Instead of facing that reflection or trying to change, they choose to destroy it. Watch carefully how they react when someone talks about honor, love, or responsibility. They roll their eyes. They sneer. Goodness irritates them because it highlights the emptiness inside them. Instead of growing or becoming better, they prefer to drag everything down around them. They would rather pull others into darkness than admit that light exists at all. They laugh at the idea of being held responsible for their actions. They mock the thought of a higher power or any force that could see through their lies. They behave as if they are untouchable, as if they are their own gods and no one has the right to judge them. That is the moment you know they have crossed a dangerous line. When someone truly believes they answer to no one, there is almost nothing they will refuse to do. Here is the chilling part. They do not just abandon goodness within themselves. They try to destroy it in others too. They test you. They push your limits. They try to make you give up your values. They mock your beliefs and attempt to make you feel foolish for having principles at all. They want you to break because the weaker you become, the stronger they feel. The moment you stand firm and refuse to bend, you will see their true face. The mask will slip, the charm will disappear. What remains is something cold, cruel, and deeply angry at anything good. They will explode in rage, not because they are powerful, but because they cannot stand anything they cannot control or ruin. That is when you realize this is not just a difficult or toxic person. It is something much darker. There is something deeply unsettling about their presence. You feel it before you can put it into words. It is not just what they say or do. It is the energy they carry. It